want to share with you the 4 questions you should ask yourself, not only as a real estate agent, but also as an entrepreneur, to really ensure that you're setting your business up for success, whether you're a brand new agent or even a top producer or an agent that has been around a while. These are 4 really good questions to reevaluate and truly do a self-audit from time to time. So number 1 is going to be, why are accomplishing your goals so important to you? And I would actually recommend taking that a step further and ask yourself, what would happen if you didn't reach these goals? So what do I mean by that? A lot of times in any kind of coaching or training programs, we talk about identifying your why. Why are things so important to you? Because the reality is, hitting a certain number cannot just be a financial gain, but you really got to attach emotion to it. So one of my favorite phrases from Tony Robbins is, your why must make you cry, because at the end of the day, your why has to be big enough that it's going to get you out of bed. It's going to get you to do the little, detailed, busy work, things that you don't want to do every single day, the things that are not fun, the hard work, because you understand that that's going to get you just that much closer to your goals. So you have to identify what that is, and then also take it a step further and understand why that's so important to you, and then even take it another step further and understand what would happen if you failed and that did not come to fruition. What could happen in your life? So for a lot of us, it may be your family, your friends, those that you care about. You want to be able to provide and take care of them. I know for myself and my husband, we had a wide awakening, 12 years ago, when we had our first son, and then we had our youngest son at 9 years ago that had some medical challenges. And so our why became survival mode. It became a point where we had to be able to take care of his medical needs that really could have put us in bankruptcy. So at the end of the day, we had to do the things that we had to do because it meant getting him the proper medical treatment that he needed and be able to pay for it, where it didn't really put a complete turn on our entire family. So sometimes we have to really dig deep and think about it. So if we didn't do the necessary things, staying up till 2:00 in the morning, working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we wouldn't have been able to provide and give the life that we needed to give to our 2 sons. So I want you to take a step back and really identify why your goals are so important to you and what happens if you fail, if you don't do what you need to do in order to reach those goals. And the number 2, would you hire you? If you were hiring today and you were actually applying for the position, would you hire you? And also, what advice or what coaching would you give to yourself? So a lot of times we've got to put our ego to the side and realize that we all have areas for improvement. So what does that mean? If you were coaching and giving somebody else advice, because we're always quick to give other people advice, but we don't always look in the mirror and realize that we personally are stopping ourselves from hitting our goals. So if you could put your ego to the side, look in the mirror, look at yourself, because ultimately we're the ones responsible, and try to figure out, what advice would you give to yourself from the outside looking in? And I think a lot of times, we're always quick to rely on other people. We're always quick to rely on, for example, an accountability partner. But the reality is, nobody's going to care more about you and your goals than yourself. So whether it's taking care of a spouse or kids or a loved one, an elderly parent, whatever that is, nobody's emotionally going to be attached to that outcome, to that goal, more than you and yourself. So if you're not going to be willing to hold yourself accountable, I would ask yourself, who is? So ultimately, we have to look in the mirror and we have to be responsible. And so really identify, I think one of the best things that I can recommend is, at the beginning of the day, make a list of everything that you need to get done, the high leverage activities that you need to get done. And then at the end of the day, draw a vertical line down the paper and write down the things that you did do and then the things that you didn't do, and try to figure out where your day went awry, where it got lost and you completely got off track. So every single day, our goal is to move the needle forward. Some days are bigger wins than others, but we want to accomplish something every single day, whether it be big or small, and that way we're constantly pushing the needle forward, and over time that's going to compound, and before you know it, you're going to look like an overnight success, but in reality it's been little steps that you've taken every single day to move forward. And then number 3, what are you filling your mind, consciously and subconsciously? Are you surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals? So it's so easy in today's day and age with technology to get lost in social media or the news, or really negative head trash as we call it, and we don't realize how that really impedes on the entire day. So think about, are you filling your mind with the right content? Because what's going to happen is, even when you're no longer thinking about it, subconsciously it's still working even when you're asleep. So I always love to start the day with either music to get the energy up, or a great YouTube video, something that's motivational to really get my mindset on the right track. And then, there's always the famous phrase that if you're the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. So look at the closest people to you. They say that your average income is the average of the 5 people that you surround yourself with. And so if you find that everybody's always coming to you for coaching and advice, then you might need to level up your circle and really get around like-minded individuals. And last but not least, number 4 is looking at your personal goals, but also your professional goals, and making sure those are in alignment. So what happens is, a lot of times we create personal goals and we have professional goals, but we don't take time to make sure they're in alignment. And over time, those can start clashing with one another. So as an example, I can say I want to be the #1 real estate agent in my area, which is great. That sounds like a great thing to accomplish, but the reality is that may take more time and energy away from my family, where my other personal goal is I want to be the best parent I can, and I don't want to miss any doctor's appointments or school events or anything like that. So, not to say that you can't do both, but you really have to put a plan together to make sure that they are in alignment and that you're not staying in the same place. Now, speaking of the same place, we have to continually be developing our own skill set. So if you're making $100,000 a year and you want to make $1 million a year, if that provides, the financial freedom that you want for your family, then you've got to become the person that can accomplish that. You've got to improve that skill set, because the reality is, it's not always about the dollar amount. It's about who you have to become in order to hit that goal. So I hope you like this information that we provided today of 4 really important questions to do a self-audit and really set yourself up for success in your real estate business. Please go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, as we are constantly putting new content every single week.